Today I'm back upstairs in the house. We finished painting the walls and texturing and everything. Today I am going to be working on the shower. I'm going to be putting in the hardy backer, and then I'm also going to be installing the shower valve. Finally, you're going to see me actually do some plumbing, something I am actually extremely good at and have done for many years. So I'm going to get this valve put in, and then we'll do the hardy backer. I like to set my shower valves at about 46 inches. Next, I'm going to solder up this valve. You always want to take these covers off before you sweat, and then you want to take the cartridge out of there because you will melt that. Always wear gloves for this part. We sandal our pipes and our fittings down so that way the flux and the solder actually adheres to it. Next, we take our flux, solder, torch, you always want to wipe everything down, or else this will turn green and it'll start eating away at it. I've seen plumbers that don't clean off their solder, you know, something from 20 years ago, and it just turns all green. It'll end up looking just like that in no time. So since we just have a shower, we cap off the tub side. Usually this would go to a tub spout, hot and cold. This is for the shower head, so that way we can connect these up together, and then shower head comes and threads into this once it's all finished up and the tile's in. Now we need to figure out where center is here. I know I have a 32-inch shower pan, so basically we're just gonna go 16 off of the wall there. This thing's still hot, that's why I'm using these channel locks. There you have it. Now for my shower head, I don't even really measure this out. I just kind of reach up as high as I can go, and that's for me. For you, you might want it lower, but I'll install my shower head about right there. It'll sit something like that. Measure out 16 inches. Next, we gotta take a piece of PEX and connect it to our drop ear for our shower head, and then we gotta connect these water lines up right here. Bring them up the wall, drill a hole, connect the hot and the cold. First, I have to blow the dust off of my plumbing tools. This right here, this is a PEX expansion tool made by Milwaukee. So basically what that does is it takes the pipe with the collar, put that in there, and it expands the pipe. And you expand that out so that way you can take a fitting, slide it in there, and it'll crimp down around it, and it will forever try to tighten onto this fitting. It is a really reliable way to plumb your house. This is called PEX A, made by Uponor. If you ever have a plumber that uses anything different than this, I would strongly recommend that you find a plumber that uses this. The nice thing about this PEX is like how flexible this stuff is. It's incredible. And this tool makes it so easy to connect pipes. You can imagine being in a small, tight crawl space and having to solder with, you know, open flame in the crawl space. It's just miserable. So this makes it so much easier. No flame, no property damage. I've just got to put the valve back in. And we'll put this back in place as well. That way when we do our tile, we know where we need to stop. Now that I've got the shower valve installed, it's time to install this hardy backer. We'll get that all onto the walls. Now that I've got the hardy backer in, I've got to take this mesh tape, put it in the joints, all the joints between the boards, and then I'll mortar all the corners and everything up. And then after that, we'll put some sealant on. Next, I got to take this waterproofing, get it all onto the walls, so that way when we put our tile on, there's no issues. We're never going to have any water damage. First coat's on. So I got my second coat of waterproofing on. I also came through and I've marked my center lines on my walls here. We're using 4x12 subway tile. We have a lot of these to install, so might take a while. Let's start tiling. Day 2. I'm gonna get started on this front wall here where my valve is, but first I gotta install these schluters, which will go right in line with my sheetrock there, and then where the tile meets up. So I gotta install this schluter, I gotta mortar it in place, and then I'll start running the tile. Alright, I've got the tile up to my shower valve, so now I gotta start making those cuts, and then the next one will be way up there. That's the only tough cuts we'll have on this shower. Well, it's not perfect, but all that's gonna be hidden by the shower trim anyway, so good enough. Let's get started on the other side. We went ahead and did 4x12 tiles, and oh my goodness, I'm so glad we didn't do 4x6. That would have been so much more work, but that by itself took me like 3 or 4 days. Just bending over, my back was hurting, so I had to stop periodically and was just kind of pacing myself. I'm trying not to just go crazy. And at the same time, when you start to, when your body starts to ache and stuff, then you start to rush and you don't do things as well. So I'm extremely happy to be past this phase. So now I just got to let this dry, and then we're gonna go ahead and grout everything in like a day or two. I have some pretty big respect for people that do tile. This is a ton of work, especially these small tiles. The big 12x12 or 24x12 tiles, those aren't too bad to do, but this stuff, I've never done a small tile, and oh my gosh, so much work. Does it go down or up? Can you do the big Allen wrench? Oh, straight to me. Well, Ashlyn and I got the shower door installed. I think it turned out pretty good. The only thing we have left to do are the finishing touches. We just got to install our shower valve trim kits, and then we just got to put in some shelving. that was a pretty fun project. We got it done. It took a while from start to finish. I mean, I was getting thrown on other jobs while I was doing this whole project, so we had some family in town and whatnot, and then we had some camera issues. So if the microphone sounds a little funky, that's why. We've got camera equipment coming here soon. I think it turned out really well, especially for me not being a tile guy. We didn't have hardly any lippage in the tiles, which is what I was focusing on. I was really taking my time. Just the tile alone, not the grout or anything. The tile alone took me 4 days because I was just really taking my time. And we didn't use a leveling system for the tiles, which makes everything, you know, basically levels the tiles out, because it was just it was really expensive. So I just made sure to take extra time to make it all nice and flat and straight and everything. But next, I still gotta, you know, trim out the windows, still gotta install our vanity. I'm gonna actually be building this vanity, and I'll probably be filming that too. So, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.